program by looking at poems from my book, Verse to Better, a poem for each day of the year. Maybe we can make this, I'm not going to try now, make it bigger. I think you could read it. So, the poems are just a structure to just see what comes up between us, although it's mostly me to you. Soon maybe people can call in. And hi. Must remember to look at the camera. There's where you are, and not myself. This is a great challenge for narcissism, to be concerned with you and not what I look like. And as the temptation is right above you, there it is, but I am not, we're together now. I'm as concerned with you almost as I am with me. Okay, now, the first poem, Death's Life. Ouch. Actually a song too, but we'll just first read it. Death's life. This will be a prayer too to all of us who are ailing or know people who are ailing. Dear white blood cells, dare white blood cells, please make me well. Help make all well. Eat cancer cells. Kill cancer cells. Threatening hell, dear cancer cells, you taught love breaths. So now choose death. After you die, we vivify. So it's very challenging to use this equipment while talking about these things, or challenging to, I'm starting to learn at this advanced age of 73, challenging to how honest can our words be? I mean, if we start with the beginning, right? I mean, this big word, deaths. I mean, how honest is that word? My dear beloved friend, Meadow Blue, had to, they say put down, had to kill her cat yesterday around noon. She's a hospice nurse, and they don't do that for people, she says. They do that for animals. So, I mean, how honest, even the word death, let alone what follows, how honest can the word death be? My music teacher says when we sing, to have some event inspire our words. So if I was singing Death's Life or saying Death's Life, I mean, I remember my mother flat on a concrete slab in the funeral home before being cremated. And I'm with my brother, sister-in-law, and a dear friend, Annie Friedman, who flew down with me. And we chat for an hour with my mom and my brother's mom, just lying there. I'm sure she would have loved that. So for there, death is life. And so if I'm feeling that, maybe when I'm saying the words, that feeling of the event, which also brings many feelings, surprising feelings to me at this moment, death's life. So that, from my dear, wonderful singing teacher, Louise Grassmere in Arlington, that's how I'm learning how to sing and talk. So to be surprised, oh my. And I could say it again, in this moment it'll feel a little different with tears in my eyes. Death's life, and the happiness of being with my brother and Annie, who's still a dear friend, and my brother's dear wife, Elise, we call each other sister and brother. And all of those feelings at this moment, in ways beyond my control, with my mom looking peaceful on the concrete slab. Hi, Mom, and maybe invoking her now, her spirit, her wonderful spirit. My extremely painful mom growing up became devoted to me after I stopped talking to her for 4 years, and she had to either, and I could see her holding her tongue when she wanted to say something. And we became very good friends. I made the mistake of letting her talk about my romances, but you can't have everything. But a very devoted mother who helped me buy my condominium, and another one for her. Many more stories I could say, but all of these could be in the words. Death's life. And feel the life my mother still is giving me in the kitchen. She remodeled many, many, many stories. And now, dear white blood cells. And they are dear, right? How often have we been healed from disease? Feel a disease thing. And for me, one of them is cancer. And the white blood cells are doing their job. After many years, my cancer might be what's called an indolent cancer, just slowly growing. Nice cancer. Hasn't followed this song, which is telling it to die, but at least slowing it down, or maybe it would have been otherwise. So I'm asking, hopefully manifesting for all of us, dear white blood cells. And if I was doing the way Louise Grassmere taught me, I would think of a scene. Oh, there's so many. And the one that comes to mind is the best, not even looking for one. I remember having a bad foot, hurting it, and then after 9 months, going to Feldenkrais and discovering, oh my, I don't have to fight this pain. I can let it spread through my body. And then probably my immune cells could enable me one morning to feel like I could go running and start running. Oh, thank you, dear, dear white blood cells. And be brave. These guys have to take on these cancer cells. Right? Dare! And again, doing this well, instead of just saying dare, what have I dared to do? And I remember a cowardly moment in Jerusalem. The whole class is climbing a I think a water tower to get a good view, and I'm scared climbing, but I don't want everyone to see, and I climb. Dare white blood cells, please make me well. Help make all well. And again, Louise Grassmere would say, you know, instead of just all, think of somebody you want to be well. My dear friend who follows me, Michael Mack, is having sciatica. My beloved first wife, Robbie Boyfer Khan, has rheumatism. Help make all well. Eat cancer cells. And again, what if I've enjoyed eating salad for lunch? Eat cancer cells. Kill the lettuce. Kill cancer cells. Stop killing insects in my house, usually, although I have traps set up for them, but when I see them, I love them. These little, tiny insects can walk and fly. Miracles all over. One of Blake's last poems, William Blake's Night, speaks of him dying, being like the angels which are everywhere. Everywhere in the rain, helping the grass to grow. We just go over, like a teacher I am, just the first stanza again. Death, life, dear white blood cells, dare white blood cells, please make me well, help make all well. Eat cancer cells, kill cancer cells. Threatening hell. Or think of, I remember lying in bed one night. Prostate cancer is brutal when it really gets people. I hope you don't know some people who've died of it. It gets into your bone marrow, which I have not been so good at, not speaking words from my marrow, words from my head, words from my body. I can think of the hell, just lying in bed, feeling some pain in my bones. Ah! Threatening hell. Dear cancer cells, I'm still respecting them. They live forever until they kill you. Not too smart. Eventually their project destroys themselves. Maybe mine are smart. I'm smart and lazy, slowly growing. Most men who die have prostate cancer, but don't die of prostate cancer. So maybe mine are just a little bit out of control. We have cancer coming into our bodies all the time, and sometimes the white blood cells don't nip them in the bud. You taught love, breath. As many people say when threatened with life-ending diseases, oh my, now I appreciate what life is. So I wrote this first book of poetry after it's, and I'm finishing a second book, maybe hopefully this year, Heal Soul, a Step a Day. Anybody who wants to can get a poem a day or a healing step a day sent to their email. Just let me know via CCTV. 438 Mass Ave, Cambridge, Mass. 02140. It's free. it's not an advertisement. Threatening hell. Dear cancer cells, you taught love, breath. So now, choose death. I mean, we're all going to choose it eventually. We have to. It's going to happen. In some ways, it's like choosing to go to sleep at night. Hard as when we were a kid, easier now. Or at least in that. After you die, we vivify. So after the cancer cells die, I can be vivified, or after whatever threatens us dies, and maybe even after death we vivify. And again, to be honest with Louise Grassmere, instead of the word vivify, just be this beautiful word, vivify. Well, sometimes I pray every night, may we sleep well, for all of us. May we sleep well, wake up revitalized. You know, those, I just had it with a nap. Get up and you just feel vital, revivify. Okay, now without further explanation, we will read this poem once, without comment, much as I am tempted. Now I can allow a comment before I start, so maybe when we really feel it and take it into our bones and marrow, me speaking it from there, taking it in, hearing it. Death's life. Dear white blood cells, dear white blood cells, please make me well, help make all well. Eat cancer cells, kill cancer cells. Threatening hell, dear cancer cells, you taught love, breath. So now choose death. After you die, we vivify. And not wanting to ruin this poem, but I once, with help from Louise Grassmere, learned to sing this. I don't remember it well, but this is Cambridge, and we celebrate trying things we might not do well. The old motto, anything worth doing is worth doing badly. That's life. Dear white blood cells, dear white blood cells, please make me well. Help make all well. Eat cancer cells. Kill cancer cells. Threatening hell, dear cancer cells, you taught love, breath, so now choose death. After you die, we vivify. Let's say goodbye to that poem. The next one is connected. I have trouble seeing it. Be fresh with flesh. No need for disease to spread like weeds. Loving my flesh, fill emptiness. Walt Whitman says there's nothing as sweet to him as the flesh, the fatty flesh of Walt on his own bones. Have you been loving your flesh, all your flesh, lately? Skin, tissues, fat. Yes? Why not? You know, companion, a friend we have with us. Don't let those advertisements tell you if you're not thin or fat or tall or short or young or whatever. It's your flesh. Yes? Refresh with flesh. No need for disease to spread like weeds. Loving my flesh, fill emptiness. It could be that cancer comes because there's an emptiness, right? That we haven't really come to terms with, right? A Buddhist void. I just was blessed with a visitor, Francis O'Hara, part of the Sufi community. Sufi stands the first Friday and the third Saturday of every month during the year, not in the summer, at Quaker House, 7:30, Dances of Universal Peace. And Francis O'Hara, one of the leaders, Abraham Sussman, asked me to house someone if I wanted to, and lucky me, I was blessed with Francis O'Hara, who taught me, brought back to me my first step on my cosmic journey was to be a Quaker, sitting in silence, waiting to be the Spirit to move us. I had forgotten that. I do meditation, but Francis said it's very different. Like centering down, his Quaker friends said it was. And when we center down, I hope all of us, feel a peace that passes understanding. Because we're part of the great silence. It's hard sometimes in Cambridge, but the silence of the world, of the solar system, space, the sound of silence. Remember that old song? Hello, darkness, my old friend. So centering down, I can feel the silence. I hope for you too, hugging our flesh. Not to be afraid of the emptiness. Eric Hoffa, the longshoreman. Eric Hoffa, the longshoreman. So we can trust him, not spending his young life like I at the University of Chicago. Or Eric Hoffa said, most of us are afraid of the nothing inside, and it's so hard to hide from what isn't there. Imagine centering down into the nothing, really, beyond all that we are. Although we are nothing, yes. I'm nobody, who are you? Are you nobody too? And then maybe, in our nothingness, we can refresh with flesh. No need for disease to spread like weeds. Loving my flesh, fill emptiness. And of course, as we know, with all our emptiness, our body still, our flesh extends out into the universe. Just like the I Love Lucy show is going out into the cosmos, so are we. Whoops, we're running out of time. I can hear, thanks to Michael Mack, this light. It's time to say goodbye. We were just warming up. Following, we have a great show. Michael Mack will be discussing anything he wants to know about spirituality and exploring with you. Please join him. Thanks for joining us for Verse to Better, a poem. At least we had